Alright, so we got this thing running. Started to work on the belt system. It does drive. I still got some messing around to do with. I think I'm gonna have to get another belt, another new belt, and I may get a little bit shorter. And another thing I'm gonna do is this spring, I should have paid better attention to how much tension there was on there, but I'm gonna get an eye bolt and bolt it to the back corner, and I'll be able to adjust that. It's fine. It goes into gear. It just goes in hard, and the clutch needs a little bit more adjusting. I had to cut the rod, so I got a bit more to do there. I might have to add, actually I got a pail full of old pulleys from different projects I did here, so I may just add, not even get another belt, try to add a idler pulley. But I've been laying on my back too much on this thing. So I'm going to take a break from that. I'm going to start thinking about mounting this body. I know a couple of you have made a comment or asked how I was going to do it. And I really don't know how I'm going to do it. I got a general idea how I'd like to do it. First off, let's set this up there. I took the shifter off. I already took the shifter off to get it out of my way. So I'm just trying to find out where. I don't want this thing to look like a dump truck, because I'm trying to get it to look like kind of like a rat rod. So I think I'm going to center it on the front tire, on the rear tire, and I'm just figuring out where I'm going to cut it over here. I'm going to cut it short. I always can cut it back bigger. Let me show you what else I did with my plate. Alright, so sorry about the sirens in the background. I cut this on some kind of politician sign. That's all they're good for, politicians, is the signs. They make great templates. So basically I'm going to put a piece of steel down in there, like that. I'm going to cut the steel shortly. And I should be able to support the front of this from there. I'm even thinking about using the old wheelbarrow thing, so that's not going to be the issue. The issue is how low do I want to cut it. So if I go any lower, which I'm gonna have to cut this out. Let me turn this over here a little bit. I'm gonna have to cut some of this out and kind of do a mini tub on the inside of the wheelbarrow. I just don't want it too high and I don't want it too low. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Center there. And just cut a little bit at a time, I guess. I know what I want to do. I just don't know how I'm going to get there. Like I said, this whole project was come across an issue. Let's try to work our way through it. So I said that about the front pulleys too, but they're just, I need a break from that stuff, that thing. You know, I go too far one way. And one other thing I do regret, if you guys are going to try to do this, some guys got it a lot lower than me, but I guess it depends on what kind of track you have and what kind of pulley system you have. Because having two belts and one to drive the transmission and one to drive the motor and transmission made it a little bit more difficult on me. I couldn't get this thing as low as I wanted to. If it was one belt, I could have tucked it up nice inside the frame, but I couldn't do that because I had staggered pulleys on the back. So that was one thing. That every tractor is different. The steering, some of them have a big pivot thing here. Mine don't. Has that cam thing down there on gears. So what I'm getting at is I wish I could have lowered it a little bit more, but I should have probably came up a little bit more on the front. It's close to the ground, the pulley. But what are you gonna do? I can't tuck the belt inside the frame because of this stupid clutch pedal. There's not enough clearance for me to go over the top of it. I thought about cutting it, put a piece of flat stock on each side, and lowering the center down. But the more I add, the more this thing gets closer to the ground. As it is, look at the muffler. I don't plan on using that muffler anyway, but you definitely won't be able to drive this thing on the grass, I don't think. Anyways, I'll get back to all that. I just needed a break from the drivetrain. It runs, it drives, not a problem. It just needs tweaking. So let's get back at this. I'm gonna cut a plate out, stick that, get that out of the way, and what I think I'm gonna do is just cut a little bit out of the wheelbarrow. Right now, it's sitting on that bottom plate, and I can cut that plate down and get my height that I want. But I don't know if I want to do that yet. I could also cut that plate down, weld some angle iron on it all the way around, and I'll be able to bolt it, plus having a support in the front. So that's basically in the back of my head, but I also got to keep in mind that I have to reattach the shifter. So I got to keep all that in the back of my head. Boy, it's a hard project, but it's fun. I'm actually having more fun building this for the grandkids than they're probably going to have driving it, but that's the way it goes, right? All right, let's cut that plate. I'm just going to use some whatever I got. I don't know what I got for steel, but I'll find something. We'll cut that out, stick that in there, and then we'll go from there. All right, guys, let me go get that cut. All right, so I built that plate. I think it'll be okay. It'll make that frame a little bit more rigid, and it'll give me something else to weld on the bottom. I already know I'm going to have to do something with the battery, relocate that possibly. I don't think I have enough room. No, I don't. All right, so I got to keep that in mind. I might have to build an extended battery box off the back. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to cut an inch out. I'll loosen the wheels, and I'll spread them, and I'll lay the wheelbarrow in until I roughly get to the height that I like. What do you think about that? All right, let me get this thing apart. Yeah, I figure maybe cut to here, all the way around, and send the tires out, and then I'll give me an idea where I gotta cut the seat, or the wheelbarrow, whatever you want to call it. Alright, still not enough. I'm gonna go for a big bite this time. If I cut too much more, I could always weld angle iron to bring it back up, but we're gonna go for it this time. We ain't playing around no more. Alright, I'm gonna cut some more out of it. I don't want to have to keep taking this thing on and off. It's a pain in my butt, but yeah, we're gonna go after a big bite right now. Alright, we'll see what it looks like after I cut it. Alright, so that's about as low as I can go. It is as low as I can go. I'll be sitting on top of the rear end, and I want to leave a little bit of room there. So what I think I will do, like I said, I'll probably weld some angle iron to that box, or I may build that box all over again and get rid of it. But either way, I'm going to use that for a template. But now I can see where I got to cut it out for the tires. So I'll take a marker and draw this. And it's gonna have to be like almost like a little mini tub in here, not a lot. And I figure I'm gonna cut it for now right here. I can always cut it back later, but let me at least cut a little bit off of there. And I still got the shifter that I gotta work out. That's gonna come through the floor. I gotta pay attention to that. But I want this all unboltable. All right, it's starting to rain anyway, and it's Sunday afternoon. So I'm going to get picked up and get it bring stuff on inside. Alright, we'll see you inside the garage. Before we go in, I want to show you how I'm going to do this. Actually, make sure it's the right angle. Yeah, that's, I don't know, a little bit. I guess it ain't going to matter. Alright, how's that look? Yep. Alright, let me cut this and we'll see you guys inside. Okay, so I'm gonna make my cut here. What I did was got a straight line, got a straight edge along the edge, so I know where to cut the other side, and that's my measurement. I think, I don't know, what it is, like 3.5 inches. I moved it a couple times, but I'll let you know when I'm done. That's how I'm gonna cut the straight line down to here, and then I'm gonna cut it right off. I'll end up cutting this out and straight across, probably on this angle, right here. And we'll do a mini tub on the inside. Alright, let me cut this. Alright, guys, gals. I cut the wheelbarrow. I'm gonna start calling it the body. No more wheelbarrow. This is gonna be the body. Alright, so I got a rough cut in it. I was hoping to use, and I still may be able to use the stock seat, but okay. So I got this bar on here because obviously when I cut the front off, it sprang free. But when I build these tubs in here, I ought to bring that over where I need it to be. Another thing, let me put this thing down for a minute. Get this out of the way for a minute. Alright, I'm going to do away with this thing, and I'm going to make my own. So, I'll probably do some flat stock coming up, and if I got any more of this channel right here, I'll use that on the sides, coming across. That way there, I don't have to use a small bracket. The seats will be coming across, it'll be tied in nice and square, and I can put this lever on that channel, if you follow me. So I'll have flat stock, channel line coming across. Then I'll do angle line that way there, and I'll be able to bolt it down to the floor. That'll be the best way of doing it, I think. You know, we hit a little bump in the road over here. We take a detour. That's what we do. I think I got enough scrap metal around here to get that done. So, a couple pieces of flat stock in the back. Angle line across the back. Angle line across the front. And channel across the side. I can get my shifter in. And I'll be able to bolt everything in. That way there, if I ever have to work on something, or they have to work on, or somebody has to work on it, it's all unboltable. So that's the game plan. Adding all this weight, I'm probably gonna have to change the pulley. We'll see. Alright, so I'm not gonna do all that cutting and all that in front of you guys. Once I get everything cut and I'm ready to put it in place, so I gotta drill it all out, all that kind of stuff. Gonna flip this thing around, give me a little bit more room over here. Jack it up, get that back plate off, take the wheels off, and start making my marks for drilling and whatnot. Alright, so the next time you see me, all that stuff, unless you guys want to see me cut all that stuff, I think it's pretty boring. You want to see the outcome. I get it. Alright, hit that like button right now. Please, hit it. Hit it real hard. And have the person next to you hit theirs. And share the video. Please, right now. Almost at 500 subscribers. My wife says I can't build a new garage over here until I hit 500 subscribers. So I'm gonna build a big old garage over here up on the hill, part of the side of the house, but can't do it, she says, until I hit 500 subscribers, and I can't do that unless you guys help me out. Alright guys, we'll see you when all this I get all this stuff cut and ready to put in place. Nice, I got the floor in. I still haven't bolted it down. That fits pretty good. Alright, I told you guys I was gonna do away with this back bracket here. And that's what I did. After I stopped recording last night, I started drilling out some of the stuff. So you can kind of see what my the body's going to sit on. I still may have to tweak it a little bit. I did fix, got rid of the short piece of the linkage. I'm sure you guys seen that earlier. Now went right to the chassis. I plan on going through across here with an angle line or something to, you know, tie it in. Because I got to keep in mind, I got to do a battery box over here later somewhere, so trying to keep that in the back of my head too. So right now the bottom stuff's all bolted in. I've got to weld everything on the tops here, but let me put on the body and show you what it looks like. I know it's kind of hard to see because we're in here close, But it gives you the general idea. You know, my opening. I might have to move this back and forth. So yeah. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna have to do mini tubs. I don't know if I'm gonna square it out. Just do square it out and carry it across. Make it part of the seat. Or, I don't know. I'll work that out. But one step at a time. This wheelbarrow is shot. I got some patching to do. And then once I put the angle iron all in, I can bolt this thing down. Now I'm trying to make this so it's all unboltable. I could just weld it to this frame, but it'll be a lot easier if I can make everything boltable. Alright, so let's put some angle iron in. We'll weld them up and get some angle iron in there and kind of temporarily bolt this body on. Then we can start working on the tubs, I think. I haven't even checked to see for the seating, but let's get the body on, one thing at a time, one problem, we'll work through it. Thanks guys, you've been very supportive, and please leave a comment down below. And that's so important to me, to the channel. I keep saying to me, but it's very important to the channel. Comments, good, bad, or indifference. Anyways, continue on. Let me get this welded up. Okay, so we got the skeleton for the body mount, all welded in place and bolted down here on the bottom to the frame. Same thing over here, bolted down through the thing. I haven't tested pulling this out. This might be a little bit hard coming out. I still got to bolt that down. And the clutch spring back here, this doohickey that I hate, I gotta make a mount for that, and I'm not 100% sure where that's gonna go yet. I do have somewhere I got like an eye hook that will give me some. It's threaded. I'll be able to maybe put a piece of angle iron over here, drill a hole, and it'll be an adjustment. That's what I'm thinking in my head. I gotta work out this. I think this was half my problem with the belts, this thing here. So anyways, I got that to do. Gonna bolt the bomb floor down, just a couple bolts, maybe use self-tappers, I don't know. And then it's nice outside. Maybe we'll get out. Oh yeah, I gotta put the angle iron in here. Once that's done, we can mount the body on and start working on the inside there. Alright, work on the mini tubs. That's the word I was looking for. So I'm gonna put tack some angle iron in there on each side, see how it looks, then drill a bunch of holes and drill the body on. Alright, so I'm gonna set the body on, maybe drill a couple holes. I only tack the angle irons in because I may have to move them. I may want to move them, adjust them. And you can use whatever you want, bed rails. This is just scrap metal that I have hanging around from other projects. And I'm using I'm using a Lincoln. It's a 180 gas or flux core. But you could actually use this. This is one I bought. This one new, and I gave this to my son-in-law. This is a 140 and 125 amp, 110 volt. You could weld with one of them. 110 flux core. I'm welding with flux core right now. I'm using a 030 wire flux core, and I'm only using a flux core because it was on there and I didn't feel like changing the reel. So yeah, a little 110 welder. That's all you need. Nothing fancy to do if you want to do little projects like this. And any questions about welding or any of that stuff or what I'm doing, feel free to leave a comment. Alright, let's put this body on and put a couple bolts in it. See what it looks like. Alright, guys, gals, we got the body on. She's not bolted in, but we got the little mini tubs in. Doesn't look too bad. I'm gonna seam seal it all along the edge. Seam seal it. May do some seam sealing down in the corners. I'm gonna seam seal the whole thing. A little bit of body filler here and there. I don't have it screwed down just yet, but we got good clearance. Getting the exact look I'm looking for. I don't know, I wanted to use them both fenders, but I think they're gonna maybe a little bit too heavy, so whatever. Not only that, I may be able to use a seat. Alright, so I might be able to make a bracket for the seat. We'll see. This shift lever here is killing me. Killing me. But yeah, what do you think so far? Alright, keep after it. Alright, making progress on the body. You guys all seen that sitting on there, right? Made the frame. Alright, so I started on these little tubs. And I'll show you what I did. Just a suggestion. Get a better wheelbarrow. If you're going to try this, get a better wheelbarrow than I do. This thing is so thin. Unless, I don't know, unless it's a foreign one. Gotta be careful what I say. Anyways, yeah, it's like Swiss cheese, but I knew I was gonna have to use a little bit of Bondo and seam sealer on it, but it is what it is. Let me get this off and I'll show you what I did. Raise you up. Sorry about bunching you around. Okay. Yeah, don't forget Papa Kenny's workshop. Tommy, you remember that? And Cam. Alright. It's gonna be kind of hard to see. Alright, come on over here, guys. So what I did, I took a piece of threaded rod and I bent it in the shape of that. And I tacked that all on for two reasons. When I grind this, I'll have a nice rounded edge. You know what I'm saying? And I thought I was going to be able to weld the tin to that, but not so much. I had to reinforce the bottom a little bit. Put a plate on there with a couple plug welds. So, basically, that's what I did. The threaded rod is just to give me a nice rounded edge, grinding it afterwards. It's going to be a whole lot of Bondo. Not a whole lot, but some and some seam sealer. So I started making the other side, and because of how I am, I never measure things twice. They're not perfect, but it's okay. We're not going for perfection here, right? I knew this was going to be a little difficult, but I'll tell you what, it's turning out harder than me taking a 4-cylinder out of rattle can and putting that big 6-liter in there. This little lawnmower is kicking my ass, but I'm into it. Can't stop now. Alright, so while you guys are pondering that, let me set you down. I'm also considering taking 3 inches out of this to lower this way down, which means I'm going to have to cut the steering rod. What do you guys think about that? Should I lower it 3 inches? I don't have a whole lot of room, but I think 3 inches, maybe 4. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm going to have to weld it all back together. In other words, I'm not just going to cut for it. I'm going to take a section out of it, lower it down, weld it all together. Some little bit of Bondo on there, whatever, and go with it, I think. So, like I said, I'll have to cut the steering rod and lower it down, and weld it back together. Gonna have to cut this rod, so there's a lot to it. Haven't got there yet. Just something for you guys to think about. Let me know what you think in the comment section. All right, guys, let's get this other tub done. Oh, actually, I forgot to tell you, I already made a template. This is how I knew both sides weren't perfect. Actually, so once that's in there, once I cut the steel and that's in there, you can see how that is. You need templates for everything, but I Alright, we're gonna cut that piece, weld it all up, then we're gonna start on this side. I'm not gonna be filming it all. It's kind of boring watching that kind of stuff, unless you people like to watch it, but I'm doing a little bit, showing you how I did it, and you guys come up with your own way. Like I said, you got something, you got a better idea, leave it in the comment section. I'm open-minded, good or bad. Alright, I take constructive criticism also, as you can tell by the last video, short video I did. Anyways, let's get them tubs done. I was walking by the rest of the body of this thing I have on the side of the house over there, and that plate that I had put down to cover the pulleys, you couldn't get it out unless you took this whole thing apart. So I decided to do away with that, and I cut this down, take a fit. I got a little bit more trimming to do as far as the body, working on the body. You got you know, I got the wheel tubs in. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna seal all this up. Seam seal all around the bond, around the outside. I'll probably do some bondo over here. I got some bondo work to do. I expected that. Even to clean up this edges here. As far as the seat, let me show you what I did. I'm gonna use the stock, the original seat with it. It's kind of high, but there's not a whole lot of room in here, and I kind of knew that going into it, and I didn't have enough room to keep this square. Anyways, and I'm trying not to make a huge project out of it, even though it's a very big project. It keeps bigger and bigger every day. Anyways, so I get the original seat bracket. What I did was took some tubing and I cut it down. I welded a nut on a washer, flipped it over, and so I was able to bolt it through. So once I get this welded down to the bottom of the body, you'll be able to unbolt these bolts and the seat will come out. Not only that, this lever keeps coming back to haunt me. This is the forward, the reverse, neutral lever. So I'm gonna have to cut that. Here it is there. I'm gonna probably come out this way, up, whatever. I gotta work on that yet. Or come out this way and up. But it's starting to be a pain in my ass right now. I'm gonna have to address that pretty soon. Actually next. So back on the seat. Once I weld them tubes down, you'll be able to unbutton the seat. Let me show you what the seat looks like on there. I don't think it looks too bad. A little high, but still get the theme going. And once I get the grill on here and a few other things I'm gonna do, pretty nice looking little 32 coupe or something, you know, just trying to change it up a little bit. But like I told you before, once some of the body panels on, I had planned on using these, but I didn't expect to use the top piece. It worked out good, you know, not a lot of clearance there. And may do a little spoil or something down off the bottom. We don't know, we'll see. Some kind of crazy bumper. But yeah, so I'm gonna weld them tubes down to the bottom of the wheelbarrow. No more wheelbarrow, down to the body. Then I'm gonna start the body work process, and while that's all drying, we'll get over here in the front. How's that sound? Alright, let me fire up the welder.